น่ารักลูกชายแม่จิ๋วนะคนที่ไม่เคยมานี่เป็นสถานที่บำเพ็ญภาวนาไม่ใช่สถานที่บำเพ็ญนอนนะนอนหลับสถานที่บำเพ็ญคุยกันที่มาที่นี่ก็เพื่อภาวนาตั้งใจจิตนะอยู่กับอารมณ์อยู่กับพุทโธก็อยู่กับลมหายใจเข้าลมหายใจออก เดินจงกรมนั่งสมาธิเมื่อเดินจงกรมเอาทั้งหนึ่งตั้งใจก็อยู่กับพุทโธก็อยู่กับลมหายใจเวลาเดินกลับนะตั้งใจอีกอยู่กับพุทโธก็ลมหายใจมันจะเข้าสู่สมาธิง่ายไม่ใช่ไปวงนะมันสติก็หายไป เดินยังหน่อยก็1 ชั่วโมงนะไม่ใช่5 นาที10 นาทีเดินจงกรม1 ชั่วโมง2 ชั่วโมง3 ชั่วโมง4 ชั่วโมงนี่มันจะเข้าสู่สมาธิได้ช่วงแรกก็มันเหนื่อยก็เดินไปทางนี้ทางเดียวไม่ใช่1 ชั่วโมง2 ชั่วโมงผมจะตั้งใจก็เอาทางเดียวเนี่ยทุกคนก็ทำได้1 ทางก็ไม่เป็นไรเมื่อเดินกลับ1 ทางก็ไม่เป็นไร1 ทางก็ไม่เป็นไรก็มานั่งสมาธินะไม่ใช่1 ชั่วโมง2 ชั่วโมงนะ1 พุทโธยังได้อยู่ใช่ไหม1 พุทโธยังได้อยู่เมื่อพุทโธจบแล้วนะมัน1 พุทโธต่อไป1 พุทโธต่อไป1 พุทโธต่อไปแล้วสุดท้ายก็นั่ง4 ชั่วโมงสบายโอ้ย ถึงเวลาหรือยังไม่ต้องนะไม่ต้องนับนะ1 พุทโธ1 พุทโธต่อไปเรื่องนั่งสมาธิก็สำคัญมากนะมันอยู่กับพุทโธอยู่กับลมหายใจที่สำคัญที่สุดนะมันที่ฝึกอบรมสติมันสติก็เหมือนตาของเราเมื่อไม่มีสติมันตาบอดนะเมื่อมีสติก็ไม่ตาบอดนะมันเปิดตาให้เห็นเองนะ เหมือนพระพุทธเจ้าก็พูดนะเอหิปัสสิโกเปิดตาให้ดูแล้วเมื่อมีสติก็เหมือนเปิดตานะสติก็รู้นะสติเป็นความรู้ล้วนๆนะเมื่อมีสติก็จะรู้กำลังพุทโธกำลังเริ่มพุทโธกำลังชอบพุทโธมันอยู่กลางๆนะพุทโธเร็วพุทโธช้าพุทโธลึกหรือไม่ลึกแต่ของเราที่เกียจนะที่เกียจจับมันพุทโธนะจะต้องรู้นะมันก็ลมหายใจก็เหมือนกันรู้กำลังลมหายใจเข้ารู้กำลังลมหายใจออกนะรู้มันลมหายใจลึกหรือไม่ลึกก็อะไรนะต้องรู้ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างทุกวินาทีนะเนี่ยเป็นสตินะนั้นต้องฝึกมันไม่ว่าก็เป็นคนไทยไม่ว่าเป็นฝรั่งก็เหมือนกันยากแล้วมันฟันไปนะมันชิดก็ไปนอกแต่ไปของเราก็ไม่รู้นะเมื่อไม่ได้ฝึกสตินะมันที่สำคัญนะหลวงตามหาโพธิ์พูดนะเรื่องสติต้องเข้าใจสติเป็นอะไรนะเมื่อมีสติก็กิเลสไม่อยู่กิเลสเข้าไม่ได้เพราะว่ามีสติเมื่อไม่มีสติมันกิเลสเข้าไปนี่ต้องเข้าใจนะมึงนั่งสมาธิก็เดินจงกรมก็เหมือนกันนะต้องมีสติสติรู้ตัวรู้พุทโธรู้ลมหายใจเข้ารู้ลมหายใจออกนี่สำคัญนะสำคัญในการฝึกสมาธิให้ทุกคนก็ให้เข้าใจอันนี้เข้าใจไหม ฮะเข้าใจไหมฮะอ้วนเข้าใจไหมนะก็ฝรั่งก็เหมือนกันนะอยู่กับพุทโธพุทโธพุทโธซ้ายพุทโธขวาพุทโธป้อนพุทโธลงฮะแล้วเวลาเดินจงกรมนะมองทางไม่ต้องมองเลี้ยวขวาไม่ต้องมองซ้ายไม่ต้องมองขวา1 เมตรนะประมาณ1 เมตรนะถึงนะฮะเห็นอยู่บางคนก็เดินจงกรมโอ้ดอกไม้นี่สวยมากฮะอันนี้เกิดแล้วนะนี่มันไม่ใช่เดินจงกรมนะฮะเข้าใจไหมฮะโอ้เดี๋ยวเราต้องทำนี่เดี๋ยวต้องทำโน่นเนี่ยไม่ใช่เดินนะพยายามหน่อยนะแล้วเรื่องการเมื่อนั่งนานนะพิจารณาทุกขเวทนารู้จักทุกขเวทนาไหมเมื่อเจ็บเข่าก็เจ็บหลังก็เจ็บเอวเจ็บอะไรนะเมื่ออยู่กับพุทโธไม่ได้เพราะว่าความเจ็บมันมากนะมันต้องพิจารณาทุกขเวทนาพิจารณาทุกขเวทนาก็เหมือนกับพุทโธก็เหมือนกับลมหายใจเข้าลมหายใจออกเดี๋ยวนี้ไม่ได้เดี๋ยวนี้มาฝึกพิจารณาทุกขเวทนาไม่อยู่กับพุทโธแต่อยู่กับความเจ็บความปวดนะความเจ็บความปวดอยู่ที่ไหนก็ของเราสติมันจอดที่โน่นนะมันอยู่ในเข่าขวานะมันจอดที่โน่นนะอยู่เนี่ยและสุดท้ายก็ชอบนะดูมองดูมองดูมองดูเป็นอะไรนะมันอยู่ที่ไหนเนี่ยมันเป็นอนิจจ์ก็เป็นอนัตตาก็เป็นทุกขังนะเดี๋ยวจะเห็นนะเวลามองดูนะมันจะเห็นนะมันจะเปลี่ยนไปบางที่ก็เจ็บมากบางที่ก็เจ็บน้อยบางที่ก็เจ็บมากบางที่ก็เป็นชุดเดียวบางที่ก็เป็นกว้างนะ มองดูแล้วสุดท้ายก็ถามนะความเจ็บมาจากไหนอยู่ที่ไหนอยู่ในผิวหนังก็อยู่ในเส้นอยู่ในเอ็นอยู่ในเนื้ออยู่ในกระดูกของเราตั้งแต่เกิดมานะของเราก็มีเส้นเอ็นนะเนื้อกระดูกนะผิวหนังก็เหมือนกันและไม่ได้เจ็บตลอดนะ เนี่ยและที่ของเราก็ต้องพิจารณาดูเวลาลุกขึ้นเมื่อความเจ็บก็หายไปเป็นไปได้ยังไงเมื่อตัดมือหรือตัดนิ้วนะความเจ็บไม่ว่าก็นั่งหรือเดินหรือนอนก็มันเจ็บอยู่ตลอดเวลานะแต่เวลานั่งสมาธิมันความเจ็บมาจากไหนต้องพิจารณาดูต้องเข้าใจความเจ็บความปวดนะเมื่อเก่งเรื่องพิจารณาทุกขเวทนานะช่วงแรกก็หายง่ายกว่านะหายง่ายนะ แต่หลังๆนะมันไม่ง่ายนะแต่พิจารณาดูเวลาเข้าใจเมื่อถึงเข้าใจนะมันทุกขเวทนาก็หยุดเดี๋ยวนี้เคยอยู่เข้าสายเดี๋ยวนี้อยู่เข้าขวาแล้วเข้าสายก็ไม่ปวดแปลกนะเดี๋ยวนี้โอ้โหดันเจ็บนะเข้าขวานะเดี๋ยวปวดเอวมากนะมันไปจากนี่ไปที่โน่นไปที่นั่นแล้วของเราตามไปแล้วสุดท้ายก็เห็นอยู่จะเกิดที่ไหนของเราอาจจะรู้แต่มันความรู้นี้เป็นความรู้ที่เกิดขึ้นในสมองที่ไม่ใช่ที่เกิดขึ้นในใจของเราต้องมองดูนะตามดูนะถึงเห็นความจริงนะหลังจากนี้ก็มันไม่กลัวไม่เคยกลัวทุกขเวทนาเข้าใจไหมของเรามีร่างกายตั้งแต่เกิดมามีแต่ดูแลร่างกายเดี๋ยวนี้ก็อยู่ในวัดนะ เดี๋ยวนี้จะดูแลแต่จิตใจอันเดียวเข้าใจไหมแค่นี้ก็พอเดียวนี้พยายามหน่อยนะไม่ใช่พยายามนอนพยายามนอนหลับนะเดินจงกรมนะมันจุดเทียนก็ของเราก็มีเทียนเยอะๆนะ จุดเทียนเอาไว้เดินจงกรม2 ชั่วโมง3 ชั่วโมงนอนได้4 ชั่วโมงคนที่เก่งนะ4 ชั่วโมงคนที่มาใหม่6 ชั่วโมง6 ชั่วโมงก็พอ บางคนก็9 ชั่วโมง10 ชั่วโมง12 ชั่วโมงนะโอเคเดี๋ยวนี้ก็ไปได้แล้วนะ เด็กน้อยก็กับกุฏิก็ได้ฮะไหนนั่งสมาธิอย่างน้อยก็15 นาทีนะเดินจงกรม15 นาทีก่อนนอนนะการ So how you are doing, both of you? David, you're a little bit tense, huh?
Yes, I tend to be.
Yeah, typical German, yeah. You need to relax, yeah. I mean, the important thing is not to pressure, yeah, the Buddha or the breath, yeah. I mean to observe it, yeah. And you have to be about the practice of samadhi. It is like riding a horse, yeah. I mean, if you ever have ridden a horse, yeah, then you know. I mean, you have to go with the how do you call it, with the flow of the horse, yeah. You cannot, only if the horse, goes in the wrong direction, then you press it a little bit, until it goes in the right direction, and then you have to give yourself, yeah. And it's the same thing for the breath, yeah. For instance, when you observe the breath, you have to give yourself completely into the breath, yeah. And once the Buddha runs, automatically you give yourself into the Buddha, yeah? It's a key, I mean, we always try to make it, yeah. And that's where we break it. If we try too hard, we break, yeah. I've seen so many people, I mean, especially the monks, or from Wat Pananachat or what in England, yeah. I mean, they will try so hard, After 2 or 3 or 4 years, they just disrobe, because, I mean, of course you don't get anything, if you try so hard. You have to go with the flow, yeah. Only when you see, the mind goes out, then you pull it back, until it is in the right direction, and then you go with the flow, yeah. And then it becomes calm and calmer. It is this controlling. I mean, we are all, educated in the West, and we learn to control from the day one of our birth, yeah. We control this, yeah. I mean, when we are older, when we are, 12 years or 14 years, we try to control our friends, we try to control our parents, and so on. We control our environment. And this is not the practice of samadhi. Samadhi is not practicing to control the breath or to control the Buddha. It's just, to always, give it a little, give it a little wink, so that the Buddha falls back into place, or that the mind comes back, yeah. But sometimes we really have to pull hard, because the mind doesn't want to go back. Yeah? Then we pull hard. But the moment it is back into the right direction, then we give, then we give into it. Yeah? We follow it. We put ourselves into it. Yeah? I mean, how fantastic it is! Just one breath. We just need to imagine, just this one breath. Completely be it with it. Yeah. I mean, we don't. It is not, I mean, some people have the idea that the breath should be like this or the breath should be like that, because, of course, they hear, yeah? I mean, they hear the description of samadhi, in the beginning the breath is caused, and the breath becomes slower, and the breath becomes more subtle and more subtle and more subtle, and the breath stops, yeah? And then we try to do it in this way. But that is where everything goes wrong, yeah? If we do it correctly, if we do the practice correctly, then we stay with the breath, observe the breath. And that's what I told the Thais. Yeah? The important thing of the practice is, when we practice samadhi, is that we know the breath. Yeah? We know how the breath is. We don't judge how the breath is. Yeah? Oh, no, the breath should be very calm, Yeah? No. We know the breath is not calm, But we still can stay with the breath that is not calm, or we can still stay with the Buddha, that is fast, or that is slow, or that is not deep enough. Yeah, we can stay. We observe it. And I think I said it, a few weeks ago. Yeah, it is like observing. We are here in nature. We can observe the birds, for instance, or we can observe the ants. Yeah, we cannot control them. And that's how this, when we do it, when we have some time, observe some of the animals here, in the monastery, and then use the same kind of observance for your Buddha or for your breath. Yeah? Don't control it, yeah? And you will see it, and it happens to everyone, I guarantee you that, yeah? It happens to me, after 1 year, I suddenly caught myself how I tried to control it, and then I had to relax all the time, relax until I really could, until the breath goes freely. We don't control the breath when we walk to the village, in our thoughts, yeah. We don't control the breath, yeah. But when we observe the breath, we need to control it, yeah. That is a difficulty, and there's a lot of exercise that we need. It's a lot of training that we need, to let go of this controlling, of the control freak that we all are. Yeah? You understand that? Yeah. Tell yourself sometimes, relax, and then feel, the whole body. There's so much tension in the body when we really try hard. So then you just go, a little bit through the body, through the head, through the shoulders, relax, through the arms, relax, through the legs, relax, and then we go back to the Buddha, yeah. Because this tension, yeah, it's not good for the practice, eh? So we can relax. Eh? The beauty about when we are really good in samadhi, eh? The beauty about it, we can go to any place, in the body, put our attention there, and then see what is going on there. And then we know there's a tension, yeah? Sometimes it's a very old tension, it's constantly there. Then we look at it, and then we ease it up, yeah? We can ease it up, yeah? And then some thoughts or some memories from the past come up, and then we have to relive, maybe some of these things, yeah? And then let go of them, yeah? And say, okay, that past, it's past, it's gone. I cannot change anything, yeah? But then over the time, these tensions, that have been manifested in our body can go, yeah, can all go, yeah. It is, what did they call it? I think it was in the 70s, end of 70s or end of 80s, psychosomatic, yeah. The psyche makes the body, yeah. It is like we made this body, at the birth, yeah. Our chitta makes this body, yeah? Our karma makes this body, yeah? And so everything, and if we get rid of some of these things, yeah, or let go of some of our, yeah, grabbing hold of something very strong, it is not a pleasant feeling. Letting go, opening up the hand, it is much more pleasant. But some of it is not, we are not aware of it. So we can go, we can go to this place and relieve it and relax it. That is the, what? That is the art, that is the art. Once we are really good, good with concentration, and not only concentration, but also with the sati, with the knowing of it, then we can go to any place, yeah? The beginning we train it, of course, with dukkha vedana, with painful feelings, yeah? That's where we can go to the spot, yeah? We don't try to reduce the pain, we want to know what is pain, yeah? This is so important. We want to know what is pain. People do pain meditation or pain investigation to get rid of the pain. Yeah? Then the pain gets stronger and stronger, and in the end they have to retreat, white flag, retreat. Yeah? No, we want to know what exactly is pain, where is it, Is it anicca? Yeah. Is it impermanent? Or is it constantly changing? And then we see when we go to this place. It becomes stronger and then it becomes weaker. It becomes stronger. Sometimes it's point-wise. Sometimes it's area-wise. And then we ask, where exactly in the body, where exactly in the spot is it? Is it in the skin? Is it in the bones? Is it in the tendons? Is it in the muscles? Is it in the flesh? Huh? And then it says, yes, of course it is in the muscles. No, since you are born, you have muscles. How can it be there? Yeah? You have to be smart. Every answer that comes up from the kilesas, you have to investigate it again. Yeah? Don't believe it. Since I was born, I have the muscles. I'm not always in pain. And if I get up, there's no more pain. Yeah? So if the muscles are really in pain, even when I get up, I should be in pain. But when I get up, I'm not in pain. Huh? That's why we use it so often. Oh, it's so painful. We get up and the pain is gone. Yeah? How can it be in the muscles? Yeah. Don't get fooled by the kilesas who tell us of the little anatomic knowledge that we have, and then we use it. Oh yeah, I will break my leg, when I sit longer. Yeah? When you sit in the airplane from Brazil, it takes 14 or 15 or 16 hours, you don't break your legs, and you don't break your back. But when we sit, for 1 hour in meditation, we suddenly think, oh, I ruined this body. So the investigation, and when you see, when you really ask the question, when you really want to know, yeah, and when you want to know, the object and the observer, are two different things. The observer observes the pain constantly, and it asks the question, yeah, what is it? How is it? How does it feel like? Yeah, breathe it in, feel it in. Don't push it away. Yeah, breathe in the pain. Yeah, and know the feeling of pain. Yeah. Because at the end of our life, we will be in big pain. In the beginning of our life, we are in the big pain, and at the end of our life, we are in big pain. Yeah? To die, is very painful. Yeah? When you go through death, there are actually three stages of death. Yeah? First, the breath stops. Yeah. Then then the temperature, it heats up completely. It's up, and then all the elements, explode. Yeah. When you can go through all these three different kinds of dukkha vedana or painful feelings, yeah, then you're not afraid of death, yeah, because you know it. That is the advantage of investigation of pain. But that is the end, in the beginning, just deal with this kind of, just deal with this kind, yeah. And if you can do that, yeah, then you can investigate. You can go one time, you can go through your body and look at all these tension points that are there, and then relax them, relax them and see what is behind it, yeah. And there's some sort of occurrence in our life, if it manifests constantly, that we need to relieve ourselves of. Yeah? So we look at the situation and say, okay, yes, but I can't do anything. Let's go off it. Yeah, we don't have to hold on to it. Okay, you understand that? Yeah. And then two days ago, I was talking about the generosity of the Thai people and the gratefulness. Yeah? Generosity, gratefulness, yeah, and respect, are three key ingredients in our practice, in our overall practice. Yeah? They are mentioned, some of it, are mentioned, with the 5 precepts, but they are not explicitly. Yeah? So the 5 precepts, we keep them. When we are monks, we keep the 227 precepts. When we are lay people here in the monastery, we keep the 8 precepts. Yeah? Generosity. Why is generosity so important? Yeah? First of all, without generosity, we wouldn't be able, of our previous lives, we wouldn't be able to stay here in the monastery, to come to the monastery or stay there even for one day. Yeah? But generosity, I mean, material generosity is letting go of things, material things, giving, these Thai people, I mean, they get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, they cook the food for us, then they drive 1 hour, to come to this monastery to give us food. And they're so happy about it. Yeah? They're really happy about it, that they think, yeah. And if you remember, when you wanted to, give your good friend or girlfriend, make a present for her, you want to make it, you're so happy, while you're preparing this present, yeah? And then you're happy when you give it, yeah? And then when you get something back, you're also happy. I mean, why not, yeah? Why not cultivate that a little bit more, generosity, yeah? So it is much easier to let go of material things than to let go of our ideas, views, and opinions that are immaterial. Yeah? So I mean, the more we train, to let go of material things, the easier it is for us, to let go of these opinions. And opinions, to let go of an opinion is not very easy. Yeah? It always sticks up. It always comes up. Now I'm right. Now this is like this. No, that is like that. Now that I mean, people reading the sutta, and they're fighting about what the Lord Buddha said. Yeah. You remember one time, where the Lord Buddha, the 2 fractions in the monastery where the Lord Buddha lived. Yeah. The fraction, that was more on the Dhamma, and the fraction that was more on the Vinaya, and it was about the toilet, I mean, using water to flush the toilet, yeah? And they were fighting, yeah? They were fighting in front of the Lord Buddha, and then the Lord Buddha came, and they weren't even recognizing him. Their own teacher, their own teacher who taught them the Dhamma and who taught them the Vinaya, they weren't listening to him. Then the Lord Buddha, took his pole, went out in the forest, yeah? So why shouldn't it happen now, yeah? The 2 people, or 3 people read the suttas, and then they fight about the meaning of it, yeah? People like that, opinions, views, yeah? So that was generosity, yeah? Gratitude, you're being grateful for everything that is given, yeah? And just like I said 2 days ago, I mean, be grateful for the things. Everything, yeah? I mean, the land that this monastery was built on was given to us, yeah? For our practice, yeah? The food is given to us. The clothes is given to us. The toothpaste, the toothbrush, soap, everything, yeah, everything that we wear, everything that we use in this monastery is given by lay people, yeah, and they have to work for it, yeah, and whoever worked for a living, knows how difficult it is, how strenuous effort, it takes, to earn some money, yeah, and they, part their money, to give it to us, or buy the things, for us, yeah. So how can we not be grateful? And also the same thing with, with generosity. Being grateful is such a nice feeling. Why do we do, why do we get stingy? Why do we, do all these things, to ourselves that really cramp our heart, I mean, generosity is opening the heart. I mean, in Thai it is called Nam Chai, yeah? The heart that flows out like water, yeah? I mean, I find it a very beautiful description, yeah? I mean, a heart that is completely open, that just flows out, yeah? And gratitude, I mean, if you really sometimes, when you can enter samadhi, yeah, for the first time or for the first 100 times, yeah, I mean, the tears are running down because you're so grateful for the opportunity that was given to you. Yeah, I mean, it is part of our heart, but it is locked up. Yeah, I mean, we have put so many layers of dust and dirt and shit on it, that we can't see it. Yeah, but the moment we open our heart, we can start to see it. Yeah, so the moment we remove all this shit, we remove the dirt and we remove the dust. There it is. It has always been there, but we just couldn't see it, yeah? And in the moment, when we really enter Upachara Samadhi, I mean, it comes up, yeah? There is all these things. There is this gratitude, there is this generosity, there's this metta, this loving kindness that loves all beings, yeah? No matter if they are evil or if they are good, yeah? We don't distinguish in this case, yeah? I mean, they are just beings, yeah? No matter if it is a snake or if it is a tiger or if it is an evil person or a good person, yeah? I mean, we are connected, yeah? I mean, the samadhi is also the way to our heart, the connection to our heart, to make contact with our heart. In the heart of all beings is one and the same. Yeah? The chitta of all beings is one and the same. Yeah? But we try to separate ourselves. Yeah? That's why when we enter Upachara Samadhi, suddenly, all the loneliness that we experience in the world so far, it disappears. We're not lonely because we are connected. Yeah, we are connected. We suddenly find the connection to all beings. Yeah, that's why we are not afraid of anything. How can we be afraid? Yeah, we are connected. Yeah, we are one. We are one. For a certain amount of time. Yeah, or for a certain depth, we are one with all beings. Yeah? This is Upachara Samadhi. Yeah? And then, the tears are running down. Yeah? Sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours, so happy. Yeah? And you don't know, I mean, automatically this gratefulness comes up. Yeah? You don't ask for it. Oh, now I should be grateful. No, it is there. It is there. It just, it just flows out. Yeah. As if as if we put, pushed water in a bottle, and then we open the lid and push, it comes out, yeah? Flushes out. Yeah? And respect is also important. Yeah? I mentioned it before. Respect for the Dhamma, respect for the teacher, but also respect for every being. Yeah? Every being has the right to be. Yeah? And be it an ant, be it a mosquito, be it this, be it a good person, be it a bad person. They have their right of being, yeah. And we shouldn't, we should respect that, yeah. But what we normally in the West think, only good people earn our respect, and that is wrong. Yeah? Has nothing to do with respect, I mean, it's just a judgment, yeah. I like him, yeah. Like him and respect are two different things. Respect the beings for their beings. Yeah? I mean, they have worked, in previous lives, to become a human being. Yeah? How can we not respect them? Yeah? I mean, they have kept their 5 precepts, so they have been good for a certain amount of time, so that they had, the good karma, to be born as a human being. Or, being born as a devata, or, being born as an animal, or being born, as a ghost, or be it in hell realm. Yeah? So these are important things, yeah, that are normally not so often mentioned, in the Thai teaching of the Thai Ajahn, because it is a little bit intrinsic in their whole life, yeah. I mean, when you see, how respectful the lay people, come to the monastery, not only treating the monks, but they are treating you as well, lay people, yeah, and treating you with respect, and being generous, yeah. So it is still, yeah. I mean, when you go to Bangkok, of course, I mean, it washes out very easily because it's a big city, and then it is just like in the West, yeah. But here in the countryside, it is still, yeah. It is intrinsic in their life, yeah, and not in our life when we were brought up, yeah. I mean, who is the first, huh? How do I get rid of my opponent, yeah? And so on, yeah, no, I mean, this is, it is just like, power game, yeah. And we are trained in that, and we didn't really realize it, yeah. So these are important things, yeah. Just to mention them again and again and again, because we tend to forget the things. So, I mean, there was some question. Somebody asked some question about, what is it about... Just one at a time,
Paul, I would like to ask a question. You say you don't encourage the students to talk in order to focus on samadhi.
Yeah.
What about reading Dhamma books? Are they helpful, or can they be a distraction, considering how the user is using the Dhamma book or audio talk?
The important thing is that we have to understand that the path of practice or the path of Buddhism starts with the kindergarten. Yeah? In the kindergarten, I mean, we're not reading Dhamma books, yeah? In the kindergarten, we learn how to pay respect, you know? I mean, we go once in a while in a temple and see it, yeah, like this ceremony, like that ceremony. And that takes ages, you know, that takes lifetimes, you know, each time we go, yeah? And then we progress from the kindergarten to the primary school. From the primary school, we learn a little bit, you know, we learn the basics of Buddhism. Yeah? We don't read their texts and we don't read the Dhamma books, we don't have discussion. We just learn a little bit. And then we go to high school. And in the beginning of the high school, I mean, we go deeper into the subject. Yeah? So we haven't even started practicing that. But towards the end of the high school, we have both, you know, we have the teaching, yeah? I mean, we learn, we read, you know, about the Buddha's teaching, and we start to practice, yeah? But when we go to, and then at the end of the high school, we enter university, and in the university, we don't need these books because we have gotten all the information that we need, and now we know we have to, yeah? We have to transform it into practice. Yeah? And so then, at this level of practice, it is not useful to read Dhamma books. What is useful is to listening to talks. I mean, if you have a teacher, to listen to Dhamma talks, you know, that he gives, you know, is encouragement. I mean, a Dhamma talk should be an encouragement for us to practice. Yeah, it shouldn't be it's a study. You know, I mean, he just. Has a dialogue over, you know, or epilogue, you know, over one of the Buddha suttas, you know, and then explains it like that. No, that we do in high school, yeah. I mean, normally when you listen to the Dhamma talks of Luang Pu Man or Luang Ta Mahaboa, I mean, they were always, you know, trying to encourage us to practice, yeah, and trying to encourage us to practice the most. Yeah? So at this level, I mean, there is no need, you know, no need of Dhamma discussion. Yeah? I mean, Luang Ta wasn't for Dhamma discussion. Luang Ta Mahaboa didn't really allow a library in the monastery so that people can start to read. What he allowed is, you know, cassette recorders, you know, at that time, you know, there were still cassette recorders with the tapes of his recorded Dhamma talks, yeah? Because that is helpful, yeah? I mean, you can listen, you know, you go into samadhi and listen, yeah? Listen to the Dhamma talk while you stay with the Buddha or while you stay with the breath, yeah? Or just listen to the voice, you know, of Luang Ta Mahaboa.
Yeah, I find that I can listen to a Dharma talk again and again.
Yeah.
And this time, my mind is at this place.
Yeah.
And this is perfect. This is what I'm missing.
Yeah.
I listen to it again, my mind's over here.
Yeah.
And again, I hear something else. I didn't hear over here,
Yeah.
but I hear it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much value in listening. Those
Yeah.
things again.
Yes, that is completely true. I sometimes listen 5 times to the same Dhamma talk of Luang Ta Mahaboa, and each time, you know, I get another nuance, yeah, of it, yeah. It never gets boring, no. Yeah. But if it is an epilogue, yeah, I mean, if it is a, you know, a Dhamma discussion, you know, a Dhamma exhortation, I think you call it exhortation of one of the suttas, then you don't want to listen a second time. Yeah? Yeah, it goes in and goes out, you know, things, and that's okay, yeah. But a Dhamma talk, something that comes from the heart, you know, normally goes to the heart, yeah. And the interesting thing about a Dhamma, listening to a Dhamma talk, if you do it correctly, we listen with the heart, yeah. So, I mean, we put our attention on the heart, you know, and receive the words, yeah, that are spoken within the heart, yeah. And then it doesn't matter which language the Dhamma talk is in, we still understand, But it's difficult, yeah. I mean, we always try to understand, this trying to understand, what he says, comes in and disrupts that, yeah. But when we listen to the Dhamma talk, it is just like following the speaker, where he leads us, yeah. See, look at this, and then we look at this, then look at this, and then we look at that, but we don't think about it, yeah. I mean, we let ourselves, it is like, this Dhamma talk is like a water, that flows in the direction and shows us, what to look at it. Yeah?
You already said we just go with the flow.
Go with the flow, yeah. I mean, that was the beginning. So I think that now should be understood. What is the other question?
So following this, you were saying, the reason I ask is, if a student focuses solely on meditation, they may get overwhelmed and become detached from the outer world, meaning interacting with people and social activities. Too much of something can be dangerous. I've heard of people going a bit crazy due to wrong meditation. Sadhu Longpo, thank you for your patience.
What? Wrong meditation, or what did you say?
Prolonged.
Or prolonged meditation. You have to, I mean, that is a concept not only in the West, if you meditate too much, you get crazy. That is also in Thailand, some people say, it is an excuse for not to meditate, yeah? If you meditate, I mean, you have to understand what is actually crazy. When are people crazy, yeah? People getting crazy when they are in their world of thoughts, yeah? Everybody is in his world of thoughts. But we can exit this world of thoughts and go into another world of thoughts, yeah? But people who are actually crazy stay in this world and it is repetitive, yeah? They cannot come out anymore. They are locked into this world of thoughts, yeah? And when you understand what this meditation is about is to have no thoughts, then how can you get crazy? Huh? Nobody can get crazy if he does the meditation correctly. And in the beginning, I already talked about, what is the correct meditation. It is not pushing, yeah, and having all these ideas how we should behave, yeah. I mean, what we should develop is sati, yeah. The sati will tell us, what to do and how to behave, yeah. Sometimes we do need some corrections from out, but we have the problem in the West, we read too much, we learn too much, we study too much, we have too much ideas about how a monk, yeah, often, I mean, when I'm in the West, lay people, tell the monk how to behave properly, yeah. And then I just think, I don't even know what to say. A monk should behave like this. A monk should behave like, not like you. Yeah, a monk should be. And that is, of course, that is where you really, disengage from the world. Yeah. A meditator is actually one person who engages much more in the world, but on a different level. Yeah. So he's not, for the moment, of course, at the moment where he sits and practices, of course, he is out of the world, yeah? But he makes the way to the heart. And when you understand what I said before, yeah? I mean, the way to the heart is the way to the connection to all beings. So if you don't do it correctly, if you think about, if you frame yourself too much, or if you force yourself too much, I should behave like this, I should behave like this, now I should behave like this, now I should behave like this, then of course you become very estranged and people will think you are crazy, yeah? Yeah, because I shouldn't look right, then you become estranged. But a person, I mean, when you saw Lungta Mahaboy, he was such a normal person, yeah? You couldn't see an arahant, yeah? I mean, he's such a normal person, yeah? I mean, there was nothing, I mean, he would let you walk through him, yeah? Without any resistance. There was no, oh, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't, yeah? There was no ego around him, yeah? And the interesting thing, when he was not giving a talk, of course, when he was giving a talk, he was fully present, yeah? I mean, you would feel the force of the Dhamma, yeah? When he stopped the talk, he disappeared. Yeah? I mean, it was just like, an old man that you see in the street, you didn't even pay attention to him because, there's nothing, yeah? We pay attention to people who have a lot of ego, a lot of power, a lot of this, yeah? But a true arahant, is not like that, yeah? You don't recognize him, you don't see him, you don't notice him, unless, he presents something, and then he's fully there. And then you see his, wow. The full, in the full concentration, the full power of Dhamma. And then when the Dhamma is off, yeah, gone. So I think this answered the question. So do the, just like in the beginning, do the meditation correctly, and you will notice, yeah, the more you find the way to the heart, the more you are connected with people. But what people think, this empathy, if I see somebody crying, I should hug him, say, oh, it is not so bad, oh, it's not so bad. This kind of thing we don't do, yeah. This empathy is something, that we think, that is, it's just fake empathy, the empathy comes from the heart, yeah. Just like, the gratitude comes from the heart, the empathy comes from the heart, yeah. And if there's something to do, then we do it. If there's nothing, yeah. How can it is, I should feel sorry for the child that is 10 kilometers away and drowning, yeah. I feel, I feel sorry for the child, but, I can't do anything, yeah? But if the child, drowns there in front of me, then of course I pick it up and throw it out, yeah? But we think about, yeah, in our countries we think about the third world, Africa, all these and so on, and the poor kids, yeah? But the beggar there on the street, on the corner of the street, we don't have any empathy, yeah? We just pass him by and say, he should work, yeah? Huh? And that is a fake, that's what I call fake empathy, yeah? Oh, as long as it is far away, we have lots of empathy. The moment it is right in front of our eyes, then the hate comes up, yeah? And so that is not empathy. So I think I answered the question correctly, yeah? Did you make a comment, Did you?
No, not yet.
No? Just say, in one of the next talks, I will talk about it. It's too complex, complex questions, cannot write.
I've had some people tell me before that when they go to a wat or a monastery and they see walking meditation, and they think, they have crazy people here because they're just focused,
they're focused,
meditating, focusing on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it scares somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And so they think the worst. They think somebody may be crazy.
Yeah, but that is, let them think whatever they think,
No, but when I hear crazy, I say, I heard that before.
Yeah, people have, think about people, who are afraid of this, yeah? They see something, they've never seen, instantly afraid, yeah? But for the people who do this, they do it all their life and the family knows everything and there's nothing to be afraid of. But for us, when you look, for instance, when you look at the 15th century or 16th century of the villages and the towns, there was one village, there was another village 20 kilometers away. They were afraid of the other people from the other village because they didn't know anything about it. Yeah? And they say, oh no, you shouldn't marry one from the other village. Yeah? It only through our times it has become grown more so the fear became less. Yeah, but the fear of new things is always there. Yeah. So some people think some people come to the monasteries, don't see anybody and think it's an empty monastery. Just like me, I said, where are all the monks, But in the morning I saw them, because going on alms round, and there were, at that time, 34 monks, who were going up. But after the meal, everything was quiet, there was nobody to be seen around, unless you didn't go to their kutis where you saw them either sitting or walking, let the people think whatever they want to think, If they come and ask, that's where I can, If a person is interested in the Dhamma, I'm not going out on the marketplace and say, please listen to me, the Lord Buddha said this and Lord, preacher, That's what Christianity normally does, And that's what a lot of Westerners do when they start with Buddhism, You go home and then we want to convince our friends, and this is the right thing to do, You fail so hard, And some people fail so much, that they give up Buddhism. If they can't convince anybody else, then Buddhism is not good for me, You see it, this is, it is something, probably, in the West, this is something, that comes as our education, that we have to teach other people, No. Buddhism is teaching oneself, And once you taught yourself, then people come and interested, Remember what I said about my mother, in the first year, the first year was so tough, I had to go through all the difficulties from my life, and all the difficulties. Sometimes, I was in pain for hours and hours, and the tears flowed because of the pain, because I started to see, all the crap that I did, in the past, So, I had to work it out and flow it out. And when I visited my mother, then I said, what are you doing? This is not good for you. Yes. When you're full of shit and the shit comes out, and people start to see that shit, and then they say, of course it's not good for you. And I said, Mother, you don't know. Let me go on. A year later, I came back, and visited my mother, And then she said, what are you doing? I want to know that. Meditation. How do you do that? Because she saw, that there was a changing process. I switched, from being, once all these bad stuff came out, and then switched, and suddenly she saw that open heart, and said, I don't even recognize my own son, So you have to let the people come to you, and as long as they're interested, no matter, I accept anybody who is interested in the Dhamma to listen to the Dhamma, or who is interested in practice. But when I see, they are not interested in the Dhamma anymore and interested in the practice, then I show them the door, Because that, they're useless, they're just a weight, a weight on or burden, on this monastery, not only on me, but also on the monks and on the other monks. Right? Okay, so it's enough for today. Go practice.